Hello and welcome to the Crypto Morning News. I'm your host, Taylor Schrum, and we'll be taking a look here at some bullish headlines. We'll be taking a look at some whale data, critical whale data for your favorite altcoins, as well as some degen news towards the end of the Crypto Morning News today. That's right, we have some rare degen news that I believe is somewhat relevant. We'll get to that here in just a second. Let's go ahead and take a look at the live price here for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the number one crypto. For those of you who don't know, Bitcoin was the birth child of Satoshi Nakamoto, and here it is, right on that 50-week moving average, I should say. This is very, very bullish for us to continue to close candles above this line here. As you can see in the past, we have had similar periods where we came down and touched this level, and that was the beginning of moves back to the upside. Here again as well in September 2024 was kind of the area where needed to have some confirmation. Hey, are we still in a bull market or not? Let's get this straight. And both times that was the answer. We also had wicks down below the 50-day weekly moving average. In both cases, we had that during that period of testing lower. We're getting it now again, but we would like to see this weekly candle close. Down on the 4-hour charts, let's take a look, see what we can kind of pull out here. We are looking like we're actually trending on a similar line, but it's the 50-day 50 moving average for the 4-hour here. You can see that this is kind of the level to maintain. Candlesticks above. We've been through a period here going all the way back to October 29th, where the 4-hour candles have traded below this level. Now we have had a decent amount of candles trading above that level, and bulls are looking to keep it that way. A wick down below this 50 moving SMA on the 4-hour would spell potentially another dip to the downside. That level is currently at 1037. Let's get into our morning sentiment here. Sentiment outlook, bulls confidence is lacking. Why is that the sentiment? Well, because we're not pushing markedly higher here. We're not building on the momentum. Now, that's all right. That doesn't mean that it's all hope is lost. What it means is that we need to go back down and reload, retest support before we can go higher. But that does not spell confidence to me. So the bulls are lacking confidence. They will hopefully get their confidence back. Fear and greed, 26, not extreme fear, but definitely not neutral and definitely not greed. 25 basis point cuts in December are 70% likely this morning. And the government open date is currently November 14th. That has come way in from predictions last week, and 95% chance that it will be November 14th, according to Polymarket. So that's generally very optimistic. Let's go ahead and take a look at the new newsletter that's come out. Is a storm of liquidity really brewing? The liquidity outlook is super key to the entire asset class of cryptocurrency. So if you are banking on a big liquidity storm coming in, go ahead and check out the free newsletter. It is the link in the description of this video as well. Go ahead and smash the like for me while we're here. Let's get into some more stories. SoFi Bank becomes the first nationally chartered bank to allow Bitcoin and crypto trading. Very exciting. This is a very good stock to hold as well if you are interested in getting some TradFi exposure to pick and shovel plays in the crypto space. It's a good stock in my opinion. Not financial advice. Moving along here, progress resumes on the Clarity Act as government reopening becomes likely. This according to Representative French Hill. Etienne and FIS have launched a tokenized loan marketplace on AVAX designed for small banks. You can read the full article on our Twitter account, Tim Warren Trades. That's at Tim Warren Trades on Twitter. Go check it out. Now we get to our whale data. Dolphins selling to whales. What else is new? It's a bull market. Ethereum whales, 10,000 to 100,000. That is the definition of what it takes to be an Ethereum whales. You got that much Ethereum. They have increased their balances up 52% since April. Okay. Now, In the same amount of time, Ethereum dolphins, meaning folks who have 100 to 1,000 Ethereum, have reduced Ethereum holdings by 16% since April. This data from CryptoQuant. So what does this tell us? It tells us that in a bull market, there are pullbacks. And during those pullbacks, money unfortunately rotates out of weak hands into strong hands, strong, experienced hands. So take note of this. Whales are buying Ethereum. Taking a look here at the more zoomed in inflows, specifically for the 10th of November, Solana is on a winning streak. It continues that winning streak. So this is the 10th day, not the 107th day. This should say 10th day. Bitcoin spot ETFs, 1.1 million in net inflows, very small number. And then spot ETFs for Solana, 6.7 million in net inflows. And that's the 10th day that it's been on that winning streak. Very, very big, very awesome for Solana. The U.S. Senate approves the bill to reopen the U.S. government. It now heads to the House for a final vote. And that is really the main reason why I believe we are seeing a little bit more optimism, a little bit more of a bid for a lot of the crypto charts. So that is very good. In addition, we have some more news. This was from yesterday. U.S. Treasury and the IRS issued new guidance giving crypto exchange traded products, ETFs, a clear path to stake digital assets and share staking rewards with retail investors. U.S. government agencies have already waved the green flag on staking ETFs. And this provides further clarification. Trump repeats the $2,000 tariff dividend plan. Very exciting for retail investors who are invested in altcoins, because in previous cycles, when stimmy checks went out, prices went up. Uniswap is another price that's gone up. Uniswap CEO Hayden Adams announces first governance proposal to turn on protocol fees and align incentives across the Uniswap ecosystem. Uni bulls hold on to much of the November 10th 41% candle. And then also a little bonus round here for Uniswap holders. Uniswap V4 crossed 20 billion in swap volume. Let me know, should we go take a look at Uniswap on the charts? I can, but you got to let me know if that's what you want. Continuing down here, we have a very big development. Market structure draft is published. That's right. The Clarity Act draft has been published by the Senate. Apparently, when the government shut down, they still focus on bills that are going to make them rich. I mean, that are important for the prosperity of the democracy that we live in. And this is the highlighted major focus on our morning sentiment. This document can be obtained in our free Discord. So the Senate Agricultural Committee released its bipartisan crypto market structure discussion draft. And this is where I'll highlight this headline, along with the fact that the U.S. government is likely to open up this week, means that cryptos have likely found a local bottom from a news standpoint. Now, you may be a skilled technical analyst, or you may be in our trading community that's filled with skilled technical analysts, and those analysts may have a little bit of a different opinion. But in terms of what the sentiment and the news is showing us today, a local bottom is likely in for cryptos. So moving along here, I will also hit on some bullish vibes. That is, Solana and Uniswap are taking those bullish vibes today, and they're running with them. Looking ahead, we see that December 1st, quantitative tightening ends. That's a date that we've been looking forward to in the Tim Warren trading community. So go ahead and be looking forward to that as well. December 10th is the next FOMC decision. And as we talked about earlier, there's a 70% likelihood that that's going to be a cut. Asia was mixed, with the Hong Kong up, but the Nike and the China Shanghai composite down. All right. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll do some very brief Q&A here, and then we'll get into our Degen news. Some exciting Degen news. I hope that you all aren't going to be too scared of the Degen news. We'll see. It's a little bit degenerate. So we'll get into it here in just a second. Let's check out the chat here. Ken Munson said, Taylor Shrum live market update, because you do stocks too. That's right. All right. What else we got here? Salute Taylor in chat. Hi from Croatia. Very cool. GM from Moho. What up, Moho? look at Arrow and Uni, says Memedovich. Kenny G says, yes, I have a sizable Uni bag. And Carlton Way said the McDonald's McRib is back, and crypto analysts say this will make the market pump. That is some good degen news, but that's not the degen news that I'm referring to. Let's take a look at Uniswap. I'm not going to look at Arrow today because that's just not what is on my mind. But Uniswap is. Let's take a look here at Uniswap. Man, this is a chart that looks pretty good. Now, Uniswap is one of the coins that I have been buying. I've been continuing my DCA strategy on it, and it is pretty much because of what we saw this morning, which is that the CEO, I guess we would have seen this yesterday actually, the CEO coming out and announcing that fee swap proposal has been made. Folks, a fee swap is very bullish for cryptocurrency projects because it takes the value of the blockchain that is being generated, right? Regardless of what blockchain it is, if it's Ethereum or Uniswap in this case, when the fee swap is initiated, which so far this has just been the proposal, but as you can see, Uniswap's been able to hold on to these gains for the most part. And if I go to the daily candle, you can see that it was yesterday's candle that really knocked everybody's socks off, 43%, and we have only seen just under a 5% shed back to the downside from these lows, these local lows for Uniswap to the wick high. That was a 116% move. Now, why in a pullback in a crypto bull market would we see a coin go so high? It's because the economic generation, when a fee switch goes in, diverts the revenues partially from validators and node operators to the actual holders of coins, right? So until the fee switch, the token that you hold that is Uniswap is only really a governance token. It entitles you to help steer the direction in the future of the blockchain, which is important, which has some utility. But when a fee switch is initiated, that then becomes a utility token, a token that is expected to increase in value as a result of the underlying operations of the blockchain. This is bullish for Uniswap, and this is the reason that I've been DCAing it. If you are interested in my breakdowns of what cryptos I'm invested in and why I'm invested in them, look no further than the Tim Warren Trading community, where I dispense all of my information in terms of what I am invested in and why. Let's see what else we have. AG says, Shrum, morning news good? Question mark. Yes, morning news is generally good. Nas Gosler, who got his hat today, he got his community membership, free membership hat today. He said, a lot of viewers today praise the Lord. Amen. Praise the Lord. All right. And Moho said, in quotes, bull market. It is a bull market. It may not feel like it, depending on what your configuration is of coins that you hold. But if you zoom out here, it is absolutely a bull market that we are in. This is total 3 I'm showing you. This is crypto without Ethereum and Bitcoin. And as you can see, from the 2023 doldrum bear market, we have absolutely seen up and to the right action that would be characteristic of a bull market. Higher lows consistently, and also higher highs, right? So this is a bull market. Now, it may not feel like it for you because likely that you have come in and you've purchased crypto up here and we have moved back down since then. Or likely you purchased crypto through here and we have moved down since then. So there are ways to have losses in a bull market. But for those of you who have Uniswap on your crypto portfolio, you may be in less losses today, and that's good. S&P 500 continues to power higher here. I'm on the daily chart. We are actually down 0.3% on the S&P. The Qs are down 0.6%, but Ethereum is down 1.7. Bitcoin's down 1.8 here at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Gold is green, but the candlestick isn't doing anything like it did yesterday. Yesterday's gold candlestick was up 2.8%. So gold, continuing to make an argument that it is not going to sell off from here, but we'll see. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. All right, let's get into some degen news, why don't we? And then we'll close out the first public live stream for the Crypto Morning News Show here. I'm your host, Taylor. If you've enjoyed it, if you feel like you've gotten something out of this, make sure that you smash the like button to tell the algorithm that this is valuable information. Now, what I'm about to show you is degenerate information, but we're going to get into it because it is interesting. This is a 4chan account that apparently has made some very powerful predictions. The user is back after making some insane predictions in the past that all came true. They're predicting a huge crypto super cycle. Let's take a look at what is being predicted here in the analysis. Because even though it's posted on 4chan, which qualifies as degenerate, I do think that there's some pretty interesting takes here. Here's how it reads. The top is not in. Most of you will laugh now, but write this down. 2026 is the year of the horse, the year Bitcoin runs wild. Now let's pause there because this person writing this is aware of the Chinese calendar, right? So that may give you an indication that this person may not be coming from a Western perspective. You thought 2025 was chaos. That was just the purge, the year of the liquidations, tariffs, and fear. 2026 is the real bull, the one you'll tell stories about. Now, this also does ring a little bit like ChatGPT wrote it, so I will point that out as well. Capital will flow out of gold decades of stored value and into Bitcoin. From there, it will cascade into Ethereum, then into altcoins with real utility that will make Bitcoin look slow. Bitcoin dominance can fall as low as 30%. That's when you'll know the cycle is flipped. The signal for the beginning of it all, when governments start printing again and momentum quantitative easing returns. And the moment quantitative easing returns, rather. That's the green light. That's ignition. Mark this down. Bitcoin 1 million in 2026 and Ethereum 100,000 in 2026. The charts don't lie. I think that this is way too bullish, just to be clear, but it is degenerate and it is fun to kind of have some moon mind moments. Let me know. What do you guys think about this news this morning? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. Do you hate this? Do you wish that there was no such thing as a Crypto Morning News Show brought to you by Taylor Shrum? Or do you like this? Do you generally think that this is something that you'll be tuning into daily at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. This could potentially be a staple here of the Tim Warren trading community. So it would be awesome to hear your feedback on what you thought of this today. With that said, we're going to go ahead and close it out. But before we do, let me just remind you all that the market climbs a wall of worry. And while right now we are seeing Bitcoin down today in a pullback within a bull market, just remember that there is worries at every turn. There are worries here. There are worries there. There will be many more worries that befall the crypto markets in the future. Right now, the biggest lag on the market is a temporary lack of liquidity, which we didn't really talk about too much today, but we've talked about in the past, and we will talk about later this week. So a temporary lack of liquidity and also the government shutdown, right? So these two things are kind of a drag on the market that is giving bears an opportunity to roar and have their voice disproportionately heard above the bulls. However, is this sustainable? Probably not. So prices will likely resume to the upside and put up new all-time highs for names like Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we will continue to also observe which altcoins get a bid, get new allocation from institutions in the institutional cycle. And make no mistake, just because it's the institutional cycle does not mean that retail will not come in at some point. They are not in the same way that they were in 2021 in order to get to those market blow off top that we saw in a lot of crypto names. Those same retail investors, at least the demographic of which, have not rotated back. They have not woken up. They're still asleep. But the more that people make money on crypto in names like Uniswap that do 44% in a day and then hold on to the majority of those gains, the more that those people make money, they turn around and tell their friends. That is what kind of spurs on the necessary element of retail for altcoin season that's going to spread out further than what the institutions would touch. keeping in mind that my new conception of crypto for the rest of this cycle is likely stablecoin infrastructure. Stablecoin infrastructure is what you need to be invested in if you're an investor in crypto. There are other narratives that look promising as well in terms of tokenization and to some extent small slivers of the AI category. But another thing that is holding Bitcoin prices back and specifically crypto prices back is the AI stocks are very, very attractive. And they have been taking liquidity that has been coming into risk markets out of bonds and out of other places, and it's been going into AI stocks. That may not be a phenomenon that lasts much longer. And for those of you who have stayed to the end of the video, you now get the TradFi bonus round. That is this headline from CNBC. This is their front page headline. SoftBank sells its entire stake in NVIDIA for $5.8 billion. Now, they've done this before. SoftBank, the Japanese investment giant, was actually invested in NVIDIA very early on. And now, and it's taken a position in NVIDIA since then, obviously, but is now going ahead and taking profit. Now, their stated goal is to buy OpenAI shares, right? So they're not leaving the AI narrative on the TradFi side. In fact, they're doubling down. But what this could be is an initial headline that signals weakness, softening in the AI narrative trajectory. Now, I, for one, do not see a significant structural slowdown in AI investment, but I do think that it's time for a pruning of the vines, so to speak, to use flowery language. AI stocks are a bit overvalued for its phase in the cycle. I still think that names like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and other names that are contributing to AI are actually undervalued overall. But for where we are in the cycle, I do think that bullish investors in AI are becoming slightly less bullish over time when they see headlines like this, SoftBank selling NVIDIA, and they are going to be looking to sell out of AI and rotate into something. Now, maybe they rotate back into bio stocks. Maybe they rotate into industrial dividend stocks, but some of that money that sells out of equities that are AI equities, some of that rotation is going to go into crypto. And so I feel that although we're in a pullback in a bull market in crypto, we are buying low. We are buying low in anticipation of selling high. All right, folks, I'm going to leave it there. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. Adios.